What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum recently came out and did an interview in which he stated that his fighter, pound-for-pound king, WBO, welterweight superstar boxer, undefeated, Terence Crawford, is under contract with Bob Arum forever, for the rest of his career and beyond, right? This is what Bob Arum stated. He says that Terence Crawford is under his tutelage and under his promotional company until the rest of the remainder of Terence Crawford's career. Now, who's to blame for this? Terence Crawford recently came out and said that he feels like the PBC and the PBC fighters are freezing him out. Mainly the top of the echelon, the welterweight division, reside over at the PBC. You have Showtime Sean Porter, two-time welterweight world champion. You have Errol the True Spence Jr., undefeated, unified welterweight superstar boxer. You have Danny Swift Garcia, two-division world champion. You have Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, 8-division Filipino superstar boxer, current WBA champion. You have Keith, one-time Thurman, former unified welterweight world champion. And these are the creme de la creme. These are the top of the top, right? These are the best of the best. Outside of that, there's no other welterweights worthwhile other than Terence Crawford. And he happens to be on the other side of the pond. So all the kids are playing on this side of the park and this side of the pond, and Terence Crawford is stuck without a boat and a paddle on the other side, right? And all the other kids on his side are little. They're too little to play with him, right? So it's not worth his time. But he has to play with them to bypass his time because there's nobody else to play with. This is the situation with Terence Crawford, right? Whose fault is this? Terence Crawford said that it's the PBC freezing him out. Well, like I stated, top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum recently came out. He said that Sean Porter and Danny Garcia weren't worth him negotiating with Al Heyman for fights. He said that they're not good fighters, right? But we see that Sean Porter was just in a huge fight that did 350,000 pay-per-view buys with Errol Spence Jr., right? Danny Garcia is a two-time, two-division world champion. How can he not be worthwhile? He's more worthy than Kavakuskis, the Mean Machine, right? So Terence Crawford last 4 fights of Jeff Horn, which is acceptable because Jeff Horn was the WBO champion who defeated Manny Pacquiao, and Terence Crawford moved up to welterweight from being undisputed at junior welterweight. So he took on Jeff Horn, and that was understandable. He captured a belt in another weight class, right? Now, with that said, he went on to fight Jose Benavidez, brother of David Benavidez, older brother of David Benavidez, who's the super middleweight WBC world champion. Now, hardcore boxing fans knew who Jose Benavidez was. The casual fans in the boxing world did not. Then he moved on from that fight to fight Amir King Khan, who people felt was far past his prime. Then he moved from that now to fighting Kavakuskis because because this is his mandatory, and there's truly nobody else for him to fight, right? They're going to have to pull up fighters from the junior welterweight division, 140-pound fight division, to face Terence Crawford. He's going to have to fight, Jose Ramirez, right? Who's a 140-pound unified champion. That's who Terence Crawford's going to have to fight next, right? You got guys like Jerron Ennis, upcoming guys. These guys are all with the PBC, right? Sergey Lipinets, Yordanis Ugas. These guys are all with the PBC. So Terence Crawford has to be at blame, right? Not his trainer, Bomac, who happens to be his trainer and his manager, right? Not Bob Arum, who happens to be his promoter. But it has to be Terence Crawford. The blame has to fall on Terence Crawford. Why? Because he has to take the bull by the horns. He has to grab the reins. He has to take control, right? They put him in a situation where he's pretty much stuck without legacy fighters. There's no legacy fighters on his side of the pond. Point blank and period. Right? So, and then you have Bob Arum, who came out and stated that he was the reason and blocked Terence Crawford from facing 8th Division Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pacquiao, who resided under the same promotional banner as Terence Crawford for years. And Terence Crawford was unable to secure that fight. He was unable to secure that fight. And Bob Arum come out and he stated that he prevented that fight from happening because he wanted to protect Manny Pacquiao. He had Manny Pacquiao's best interest. He didn't want Manny Pacquiao to get injured or hurt, and he has love for Manny Pacquiao. He actually wanted Manny Pacquiao to retire, right? But he allowed Manny Pacquiao to fight Jeff Horn, and he was claiming at the time that he wanted Manny Pacquiao Terence Crawford fight to be a passing of the torch type of fight. But then he comes out and says he blocked it. So that means Terence Crawford, he didn't have your best interest at heart as far as your legacy goes. He just didn't. So you don't have that signature fight on your resume because Bob Arum blocked it. And then, now look at this. You also have Mikey Garcia, right? 4th Division Mexican superstar boxer who was in and around Terence Crawford weight class, who was mentioned as a super fight between him and Terence Crawford. That fight never came to fruition. Mikey Garcia, too, was under the same banner as Terence Crawford with Top Rank, and Terence Crawford couldn't secure that fight. Mikey Garcia then felt like, listen, he was getting the shaft with Top Rank. He wasn't getting what he thought he should have been getting, the push and the promotion from Top Rank. And Mikey Garcia sat on the shelf for a while and bought his way out. And these are lessons that Terence Crawford, you think that would have learned these lessons. You have Oscar De La Hoya. You have Miguel Cotto. You have Floyd Mayweather. You have Mikey Garcia. And the list goes on and on about fighters who got away from Top Rank. Now, Top Rank is good in promoting fighters and building fighters up. They're absolutely good at that. The problem is they don't keep the train going. Manny Pacquiao, another guy who left Top Rank and felt, now he turns around and says that, you know, he felt like he was getting a shaft. And Floyd Mayweather was telling Manny Pacquiao for years, you need to get away from that situation. Right? Terence Crawford chose to sign, I don't know whether this is true or not, but Bob Arum said that he signed a lifetime deal with them. So Terence Crawford, you can't blame the PBC and these other fighters. You have to blame yourself. You can't even blame Bomac, his trainer and manager, because there's people that feel like Bomac played a part in this situation and shortchanged Terence Crawford for his legacy, right? But then there's people that feel like Terence Crawford just don't care, right? So, but here's the thing. You can't blame Bomac. You can't blame Bob Arum. Terence Crawford is a grown man. He is the product. He is the fighter. He is the brand. So he must grab the bull by the horns and direct the bull into what direction he wanted to go in. He can't just allow his career to be a bull in the china shop and don't grab the bull by the horns. You got to make it count. You got to make it count. And this is what Terence Crawford didn't do. So can I blame Bob Arum? Can I blame Bomac? No. I got to place blame on Terence Crawford. I have to. Terence Crawford has to be responsible for what direction his career goes in. And as far as him saying he's annoyed and he's frustrated that he can't land these fights, well then Terence Crawford, you got to look at your promoter and say, what's really going on here? And grab the bull by the horns. Say, listen, I might have to get out of here. You might have to do what Mikey Garcia did. But you would think that he would have learned from the situation, past situations that already were in front of him and laid out for him to see. He saw the blueprint. He saw the direction. Now Mikey Garcia left. Mikey Garcia done landed Errol Spence fight, and he's possibly on his way to landing Manny Pacquiao fight. Back-to-back fights for Mikey Garcia. How about that? Let that sink in. Mikey Garcia left Top Rank, right? He got fights, title shots. He got an Adrian Broner fight. He got a fight with Errol Spence Jr., right? He got a fight with Robert Easter. And now he's on the verge and on the cusp of landing a fight with Manny Pacquiao. So he back-to-back, he would get Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. So Mikey Garcia last 4 fights since leaving Top Rank. Let's just look at this, shall we? I mean, this should say it all for Terence Crawford. This should have been the writing on the wall for Terence Crawford, right? Mikey Garcia is the blueprint. Mikey Garcia showed you, right? Look at Mikey Garcia's last 4 fights. Errol Spence, Robert Easter, Sergey Lipinets, right? And Adrian Broner. And now he's on the cusp of landing a Manny Pacquiao fight. So the 2 fighters that should mean everything to Terence Crawford, Mikey Garcia, well, 3 fights. Mikey Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence. They're fighting each other. Keith Thurman landed the fight with Manny Pacquiao before Terence Crawford did. How? When you was under the same promotional banner. You was in the same wheelhouse. Right? But these are learning lessons. So I have to place blame for Terence Crawford, and I have to say Terence Crawford truly don't want these fights. And I have to say Terence Crawford truly doesn't matter to Terence Crawford. Point blank and period. There's no way you could blame Bob Arum. The blueprint was laid in front of him. The examples was laid out for him. Floyd Mayweather example. Look at the star he became when he left Top Rank. Oscar De La Hoya. Look at the star he became when he left Top Rank. Miguel Cotto. Look at the star he became when he left Top Rank. Manny Pacquiao. Look at the fights he's getting, and look what he's totally revived his career since he left there. He's on the verge of having another super fight. He fought Adrian Broner. Now he's going to fight Mikey Garcia, and then possibly Errol Spence Jr. fight down the road for Unified. These are the fights. And these are the fights that Terence Crawford in his prime should be getting, but he's not getting them. He's not getting the fights. And you know why he's not getting the fights? Because he allowed Bob Arum to dictate his legacy and his career. And the examples were laid out all in front of him. But it leads me to believe that Terence Crawford just don't want it. Point blank and period. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. You already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all, man. Peace.